Following audio commentary is copyrighted by warcraftreplays.com. Hello everyone, this is Newbiee GGL from US East, and this is my first audio commentary for Warcraft Replays. I hope you all like it. If you got any comments or think I could do something better, let me know in the comments section of this audio or in private message, doesn't matter. Alright, well, I'm hoping you all download the replay by now. So it's star 1 against Newbiee GGL. Before I start talking about that, get to the 10-second mark at the 1x speed. A little bit of background on this matchup. I was actually playing on West, and I was like 12-0, I think, when I was playing him. He was level 49 on West, so he was a pretty good player. He picks random in this matchup. I don't know what his original race is. Didn't really research him that much, but it was a pretty good match. It wasn't close, but it shows what to do against Night Elf in certain situations. So this is why I'm doing an audio on it. All right. Well, I hope all of you are at the 10-second mark at the 1x speed. So I'm gonna start it in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. Also take Fog of War off so you can see what's going on in the entire map. I'm doing standard orc build. Basically, I get an altar, burrow, then a barracks, the usual stuff. Gonna go Farseer first. I almost always go Farseer. I think any other orc always goes Farseer. You don't really have any other choice, because if you go Blade Master, you're gonna lose. Unless you're Cad, and Cad's the only person who can pull that off. Maybe TC first, but that's still kind of risky. And Shadowhunter, I don't know. I'm not much of a Shadowhunter fan, so definitely not an option for me. So I almost always go Farseer first. And second hero, I usually go Tauren Chieftain, but sometimes I'll go with something else, just depending on the situation, what I feel like. So it's still looking about your usual matchup. I don't know he's Night Elf yet, but he starts with an altar, Moonwell. It looks like he just picked a warden. So warden and Farseer. Typically I don't have a problem with warden. People seem to have problems with Fan of Knives. I don't really see why. That's a hard thing to deal with, but I guess it's more of a playstyle choice. It looks like he throws up an Ancient of War at his ramp, so obviously he's going to try to get a fast expansion going there. So maybe he'll creep with that Ancient of War. I don't know what he's planning to do with that. Of course, I don't even know he's Night Elf yet. I haven't scouted him. Farseer's almost out. I'm going to be creeping at a spot that's relatively easy, so I'll be able to send one wolf to be able to scout and see what race he is. I've just found out he's Night Elf right then and there, so I know to be careful not to go harass, because it could be a warden, so he could just shadow strike me to death. So I'm gonna be careful about that. He detonates on me just there. I'm gonna creep that with one wolf, and Grunt's coming. I think I set the rally at the wrong place, so I'm not sure when that Grunt will be grabbed. Here comes the warden. Scout it with a wolf, so I know I gotta get out of there fast. So I'm not even gonna finish creeping that. I'm just gonna run and creep at another place. Problem with Night Elf is that they can go any hero they want, and that's what makes this matchup kind of tough for people, because you don't really know what to expect. With the recent patch, I guess the Keeper isn't too much of a valid choice anymore now that they nerfed Entangle. They basically cut the Entangle time in half. So I'm gonna go off and creep at a spot that you usually wouldn't look in most places. Well, he's going to try to keep an expansion, which I thought he would be coming after me right now, but I guess not. So I'm creeping there, trying to get as much experience as possible. He's still trying to work on an expansion, using that Ancient War to help kill, do some damage on these creeps. And he's going to throw up an expansion pretty soon. Yep, there goes his wisps. He's going to throw it up. He gets Gloves of Haste and Cloak of Shadows, which I'll eventually end up selling. I think an important thing I've learned recently is to sell items if they're not of important use of yours, because they actually sell for a decent amount of money. So you can buy scrolls with them or whatever. So that's actually a pretty good thing to do. I'm gonna clear my natural really quick, and then I'm gonna go for something probably most orc players don't do, and hopefully this is something you can get out of this audio, is how fast you can creep these ogres right above the expansion where the ogre lord and the ogre marlows are. You can actually do those with 4 grunts, and if you get a pretty nice item, that puts you at a pretty solid advantage. Maybe you can even get the other item too while you're at it. So generally this is a good map for orc, I guess, because creeping is relatively easy, especially if you want to go air. You can creep the ogres really fast while you're harassing, so that's actually pretty useful. And also it's not that hard to creep these ogres with grunts, as you're going to see right now. Taking down the ogres. What is Night Elf doing? Creeping some pretty small creeps. I think he could have fought something harder than that. That will put him at a disadvantage in a second here when I get these heal wards. Yep, here drops the heal wards. I'm going to throw one up just to heal my, all my grunts, so I don't need to go back to town to use salves. And Night Elf still has very few units. I guess the expansion slowed him down somewhat. He is teching. He's halfway to tier 2. And I just finished the ogres. I'm level 3 already, and he is just over level 2. So right now I'm at a pretty huge advantage. I could actually probably take out that expansion if I wanted to, but I'm gonna play it safe and just wait for my Tauren Chieftain to come out, and so maybe some of my demolishers and stuff. So now I'm just gonna continue creeping. Try to get my Farseer high level as possible. Level 2 Chain Lightning would be pretty useful with the Shockwave. Tauren Chieftain's almost out. I'm about to throw up a bestiary right now. My usual response to Night Elf who go Archer, Hunt, and usually most Night Elves would go Dryad as well. Dryad and Talon. So my typical counter for that is to get Grunts, Raiders, and some Demolishers. You don't want to get more than 7 Demolishers, or not 7. You don't want to get more than 4 Demolishers because that takes up too much supply and you don't have enough meat. So I'm going to start making Demolishers as soon as possible once that mill finishes. And you'll see my TC is full of shop items. You want to minimize the amount of times you go back to town for your shop because it actually takes a lot of time away from creeping. So it's a good time to pick up items. When that second hero comes out, you can pick them up and then take them to your army. And that's what I do. Right now I'm going to be scouting to see if he has an expansion or what. Almost to the point where I want to attack, so I'm going to be loading up on scrolls right now. Night Elf still doesn't have that much stuff. His expansion just finished, so he's about to start getting good returns from his expansion. He's throwing up Lore and a Wind, and he's upgrading Ultra Vision during the day, which is a little weird. Maybe I don't know how to play Night Elf, so maybe it's normal. I don't know. All right, now I just scouted the expansion, so I'm gonna be heading over there. 1 Demolisher out. Raider's almost done. I think he was expecting a battle because he just refilled the Warden's mana with a Verity Potion. So I think he's going to go try to creep that really fast, right above his natural expansion. Just to get some scrolls, maybe a nice item too. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to get there just a little bit too fast for him. He's not going to want to creep it. He sees grunts off that hill, so he's going to come back down. And battle will ensue soon, I think. I think for a little bit we're just going to start playing with each other, try to make him come out. But that won't happen until I bring a Demolisher into play. This is where lack of control groups can help. Can hurt me a lot. I have a hard time doing this back and forth, the constant control of my units, because I have to go back to base and make my stuff. and then I have to reselect and then move them again. So it gets really tough for me at this point, because obviously most of you know I do not use hotkeys. Alright, so he doesn't really want to engage, but he's going to. He knows he has to. He's repairing that Ancient War, but 2 demolishers are out. That won't be enough. So here comes a battle. I'm going to ensnare that hunt. Maybe wait a little too long for that. Maybe it was lag, I don't know. But here comes a battle. I'm not going to fight with that Ancient War. I'm going to back up. He's going to finally come out and fight. He's going to detonate me with wisps. Shockwave goes off. I'm going to throw up the heal ward. Stays up for relatively large time. There, he just took it off. Now I'm going to throw down another one. Demolisher is just knocking away on this stuff. It's completely destroying everything. Personally, in my opinion, I think heal wards are too strong of an item for this level. I don't know, compared to everything else. A heal stone's nice, but I don't know, heal wards are just too good. I mean, of course you can kill them with one hit, but still, if you place them in a nice spot where they're unreachable from range, I think they're probably the best item drop you can get from those type of at those level drops. So I'm gonna finish taking out this Moonwell stuff. I see Night Elf coming, so I'm gonna get out of there. I'm not gonna lose all my units through that. I do a nice shot with Demolisher to take out a unit. So we're looking at, I got 57 supply. Star 1 has 58, so it's still pretty even. Except that I have an expansion that's just started. Then again, he just started one too. Or he's about to. Yeah, he just started one just now. So, still anyone's game. I guess my hero levels are higher. So that's what's in my advantage right now. Casting Salve on all my units. Can work on a 4th Demolisher. Just take out that unarmored stuff. Need to get that TC to level 2. Low level TC isn't really that useful, but once you get him level 3, it's pretty good. So that's usually the tough thing to do, is get him to level 3. If you can get him to level 3 pretty early in the game, it's hard for Orc to lose. But then again, on this map is pretty small, so there's not too many creeps. It's not that large. You can't just go off and creep on your own and harass with a Farseer. So it's not one of the options. Looks like I'm picking up some heal scrolls, because when you're facing a warden, you don't want to fight without heal scrolls. Without Fan and Eyes will take it down pretty fast. So putting a scroll of healing and a scroll of protection on me. And I'm probably going to go back and finish him off. I don't know he has an expansion. I didn't think he was going to rebuild it, but I'm going to check it just in case. Yeah, I resolved one of my grunts that was really low HP. And he ends up creeping those ogres finally and gets a heal stone, which will prove to be somewhat useful later on, but by that point in time it's too late, which another reason why I don't think it's that great of an item, because usually if they're focus firing on your hero like that, the game's already over. So I don't know, maybe that's one of the few things I'd like to see changed in the patch, is this heal ward business just being too strong. Alright, another battle starts. My Demolisher's not in play yet. Scroll Protection goes off. Shockwave. Chain Lightning soon. Yeah, focus fire on the unarmored with my Demolishers. Looking pretty good for me so far. Let's see, I got 64. He's under 50. Not looking good for him. Demolisher's just owning up this army too much. So after that battle, I still have 58. He has 41. So it's not looking good for him. This game's probably over. I got an expansion that's up now, so this game's basically over. He's gonna try to come in for one last attack, I think. And before that happens, I'm gonna make sure I have another heal scroll on me. I think. Yeah, Use my last solve. Warden Chieftain still only level 2, so not too strong in this battle, in this game actually, but alright, Ensnare goes off on the Warden. I'm gonna start focus firing on him, but this ends up being a problem. This is why you should always check the hero's inventory to make sure you want to focus fire, because he uses a heal stone there, and if this was actually a close game, that could have decided the game actually, because I lose a lot of units from that. See, Star 1 has 36 supply, I have 58, so at this point in time, it's just, you couldn't win anyways, no matter what happened. Ensnare goes off on the Warden again. I'm gonna ensnare it again. Warden's gonna die. One last hit from the Farseer, there we go. That's GG, I think he leaves after this. Yep, GG. So, let's look. When you look at the scores, it seems Star 1 had a lot more resources, but it doesn't matter because he spent so much money investing on an expansion that if you attack him at the right time, it's actually not worth it. So, against these Night Elf fast expanders, if you attack at the right time, you can actually shut it down relatively easy. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it my way, where you just make some demolishers, some raiders, some grunts, heal scrolls. Usually about the crack of dawn is when you want to attack if they fast expand. Another option is something my teammate Incinerator likes to do, is he likes to tower rush, and that's actually pretty effective as well. But I'm not much of a tower rush type of person. I do it sometimes, but that's not my style, and I'll leave that to him to do that. But as you can see, it worked pretty well, especially with the help of creeping those high-level ogres and getting the heal wards relatively fast. So that was a good move on my part. But yeah, I guess that's it. I also had pretty large experience advantage. If you look at the hero tab at the end, I have level 5 Farseer. He has a level 5 Warden, but I also have a level 3 Warden Chieftain. So he didn't creep that fast, and that was another thing. I had experience advantage. So that is why I won this game, and I hope this shows you Orc players that Orc vs Night Elf isn't impossible. It may be a little tough, but it can be done. You just can't lose units early on. You want to avoid coming in contact with that Warden early on. You want to creep in places they don't expect. Either that or just hide in your base, whatever you feel is most useful. If you play against a good Night Elf, they're going to have wisps cycling all around your area, so it's hard to avoid. So sometimes that creeping in places you don't expect them is not very feasible, but yeah, I guess that's it about this game. Stay tuned for my next one. It's a game where I actually lose to a Warden, so for you Night Elf players who like to use Warden and like to see how gay and lame the Warden can be, yeah, don't forget that. You don't want to miss this match. Anyways, this is it. See y'all later. Bye.
He's doing like a BattleNet audio. Shane. Justin's on the phone.